Week 11 has passed, and I gotta say, what an unpredictable week. We got our classic Lambeau Field Winter Wonderland November game, and to be honest, it was pretty entertaining for the most part. Which usually isn't saying much, but come on, it's Thursday night football, you take what you can get. What was weird about this game though, is that Aaron Rodgers is actually to blame for most of the Packers' struggles. He was just missing wide open receivers all night long, and the receivers were actually doing a good job of getting separation. Besides that, Derrick Henry can run the ball pretty well, Ryan Tannehill's adequate enough, and Mike Vrabel can coach a goddamn football team. The game between Justin Fields and the guy who was supposed to be Justin Fields. Regardless, things actually went pretty well for the Bears for most of the game. Every Bears script is pretty much the exact same thing. They're going to look their opponent straight in the eyes and tell them that we are going to run the ball and that you have to stop it. And unfortunately for the Falcons, they have one of the worst defenses in the league and did not do a great job of stopping the rushing attack. However, they did do a better job than the last few Bears opponents at least, and their offense was able to keep up with the Bears until the very last seconds. They took a late lead, which allowed Justin Fields one chance to drive down the field to prove himself as being capable of having the clutch gene. But unfortunately, all game long, his passes weren't on cue, and this was no different, as he threw a game-losing interception, allowing the Falcons to remain as #1 in their division. How the hell did you let this happen, Bucks? Sloppy as hell. I'm still not ready to give Jeff Saturday any credit at all. I think the Eagles are just not as strong as we thought they were. I do think the Jordan Davis injury was very key in hurting them, because with him out, that now exposes the first weakness with this Eagles team, and that is the run game. And the Colts abused that pretty much immediately, as Jonathan Taylor ran all over them early in the game to give them a lead. The Eagles then went their own route and ran the ball on damn near every single play on a game-winning possession, which culminated in a Jalen Hurts rushing touchdown. And luckily for the Eagles, Matt Ryan was playing quarterback for the Colts, and his last-ditch far-fetched effort was not enough, and the Eagles hung on to miraculously beat the Colts. Let's go! Like, seriously, dude, what are you doing? I don't care that the last play happened. This was the most boring game I've seen in so long. Every single week, I have zero expectations for the Patriots in terms of entertainment, and each and every week, they let me down. Look, it's probably Bill's evil game plan to just make the game as slogging as possible, but god damn does it make for bad viewership experience. What else do you want me to tell you about this game? These are two horrendous offenses and very good defenses, which led to 3-3 until the last 10 seconds of the game. But admittedly, in the last 10 seconds, we got an awesome punt return for a game-winning touchdown. And somehow right now, all 4 teams in the AFC East are in the playoffs. Yeah, it's that bad. Yeah, the Texans are, terrible. Still. You stop Dameon Pierce, you stop the Texans. Yeah, that's about it. Well, Rams, I did say your season ended last week with Cooper Kupp's injury, basically ending his season, but now with another Matthew Stafford injury, as well as your O-line completely crumbling, there's nothing left here. It's a real shame, because this defense is absolutely elite, but it's just gone to waste with a stale offense. I'm not even sure where you go from here, because sooner or later, money problems are going to catch up with you, and I don't even know how you can bolster this run game next year. As for the Saints, it's the same thing that I said last week. There's just no quarterback on this roster that's redeemable, and as long as you keep treading water, you're not going to have a chance of being a real contender. Don't let Drew Brees die for your sins.
Hey, where's the funny Raiders guy? Well, if you watched Tub Frog's latest video or joined the Discord, both of which I highly recommend, you know that I'm taking over for this segment, because I'm a winner. The Detroit Lions absolutely thrashed the New York hospital patients in a dominant fashion. They held control for pretty much the whole game, and that meant complete control over Saquon Barkley. They forced the Giants to beat them by beating the pressure and throwing, relying on the receivers as well as their knees, both of which are utterly untrustworthy at best. After many failed first and second downs led to third and longs that the G-men just could not convert. Combine that with poor defensive and special teams play, leading to 3 Jamal Williams touchdowns, the Giants were completely exposed. At the end of the game, they had a chance, but an Isaiah Hodgins fumble made sure any hope was stamped out. But hey, I don't blame him. He didn't know he was getting raised up to the roster from his likely usual job at the local Wendy's. They now get no time for anybody to heal as they lost their whole secondary, 2 linemen, and Wan'Dale Robinson for the season as they get to play Dallas on Thursday for an American Thanksgiving beatdown. I don't recommend any young children watch that game for safety on their eyes. Meanwhile, the Lions lose draft capital, so congratulations to them.
The Browns gave the Bills a little 1-2 punch right out of the gate, but although the score may indicate otherwise, this game was not super close. And pretty much immediately after Stephon Diggs and Sean McDermott had their little talk, everything turned around and went in the Bills' favor. Not much else to say, just wait one more week for Deshaun and then your tank can keep going. The only game that gave the Patriots-Jets a run for its money in terms of being boring and unwatchable. I don't even know what happened in this game. Lamar just looked almost injured for the entire game, and the Panthers are the Panthers. There's not much else to say here. He's not there yet! The battle of 2 of the worst coaches in the league, bar none. And it started early, as the Broncos declined some of the easiest penalties to accept I've ever seen, and the Raiders did their own thing, declining to go with a 50-yard field goal with one of the best kickers in the league. Unfortunately for everyone watching this game, this was a battle of 2 teams with completely polar opposite sides of the ball. One had a good offense and a bad defense, the other a good defense and a bad offense. And that made for an unwatchable football game. However, the Raiders were able to win this game, in part because they had the 2 best players on the field with Max Crosby and Devontae Adams, single-handedly winning possessions in the Raiders' favor, ultimately leading to a win. Not exactly sure if this win helps the Raiders, but a win regardless. That's too easy! Whoa! Really? To be honest with you, I really did think the Cowboys were going to win this game convincingly, but, wow. If the Cowboys can play like this come playoff time, then they might actually be the best team in the entire league, but I'm nowhere near ready to give them that title yet. Prove it to me in the playoffs, Dallas. Besides that, I don't really care. You put up a good fight, Pittsburgh, but it was just not enough. Joe Burrow is so good at football, but this was the most promising game from Kenny Pickett's young career, and his ability to scramble out of the pocket and make plays when the play breaks down seems to be a valuable asset, and will be one that's very important to the Steelers' offense in the future. Though. And Najee had his best game of the season, but you got Samaje Perine. Not much you can do about it. That's too easy. This was a Chiefs team that came into this game absolutely devastated at the wide receiver core, and things only got worse as the game went on. But that does not matter at all, because Travis Kelce exists. This game was super entertaining to watch and an absolute shootout from the very beginning, but unfortunately for the Chargers, Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. And with all respect to Brady and Gronk, I think Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes are the most dominant quarterback-tight end duo that I've ever seen with my 2 eyes. If I had to bet, I would say Kelce doesn't even have a designed route on most of his plays. He just reads the defense and finds the open spot every single time. Seriously, one tight end should not be this good, but he is. He just is. You're also in a bit of a crossroads, Chargers. You gotta decide whether to keep going for the playoffs or maybe look towards the lottery. That's up to you, though. That's too easy. Yeah, this capped off another really boring week where the potential Super Bowl favorite from the NFC just stepped on the Cardinals. Once again, Colt McCoy. Not much else to say. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, then like and subscribe, because it really helps the channel a lot. Also, if you like this video, then watch this video right here on an NFL Discord Jeopardy thing that I did with the Discord community. It's pretty funny, trust me. Anyways, until next time.